All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hurt Business Podcast. My name is Faris Sharari, and today I'm joined by a young rising talent. He grew up as a dual threat quarterback. Now he's fighting for a kickboxing championship. He is Evan Judkins. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me, Ferris. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I was watching your huddle like 20 minutes ago, and I can't say I'm not impressed, man. That was some cool shit. Tell me about growing up playing the QB position.
I appreciate that, man. Those are the glory days, huh?
Yeah. So first, tell me, how did you get into fighting from throwing the football?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I mean, my freshman year, I was playing football at UMass Dartmouth. I was there playing quarterback, and I pretty much just went to school to play football. I didn't really think about the schooling aspect and all that. I was locked in on football. And then, some stuff happened on the field, some stuff happened with the team, and I started to kind of just like drift away from it. And it's funny as I've heard Max Holloway talk about this, but I picked up the UFC 3 game. It was free on Xbox Game Pass. I started playing some of that. And I was like, as I was playing it, I was just like, man, I can do this. And I started to look at local gyms near my home, and then COVID hit, and so I got sent home from school. I had to come home, doing nothing. And the whole time through COVID, I was just watching UFC fights, watching kickboxing fights. And then as soon as the gym near me opened back up, it was full go from there. And that's from there until now.
So you get the game. Who's the first fighter you play with?
I was, of course, I'm Conor McGregor,
All right.
but
Classic.
in that game, if you use lower tier fighters, you'd gain more progress, and at that time, Sean O'Malley was just a rising star. He wasn't really the big star that he is today, and that was somebody I used a lot too. Yeah.
Fire. You still play the game today, or no? Not really.
Oh yeah, I'm nasty at the game. I'm nasty.
Are you? All right. You play Xbox P5?
I'm on PS5 now. Yep.
All right, same here. We might have to see what's up with it one of these days.
We can definitely see what's up with it.
All right, so then you find, was the first gym you got into, was it the current gym you're with?
Yep, Pride Martial Arts down in Wakefield. Yep, Wakefield, Rhode Island.
Nice. And how was the reception your first time walking in there?
Yeah, so my first time walking, I remember my first time walking in. We all had masks on. Yeah, that was something. But I met Andrew Cornell my first day. He's the head coach over there, and from the first day, I think he knew that I was in it to compete. I had a competitive edge to me, and he treated me like one of the guys right away, and I couldn't be more appreciative for that because he's been a huge part of my career.
And he's still your head coach today?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. And I see you hitting mitts with Ross Turbo Levine.
Yes, sir.
Big karate combat champ. What's it like gaining his knowledge and spending time in the training facility with him?
Yeah, he's the man. Having him around, I feel like that gives us just such a big edge compared to like all these local gyms. Like having someone like him who's fighting at the highest levels. He has his whole point karate background. He's just a very diverse fighter. He can do it all in the stand up, and being able to learn from him is just like, it's just amazing. And the life lessons he teaches me along the way, he's a really great role model for me, for sure.
I think specifically for you, right? Because you're like this growing up striker, and he's competed in point karate his entire existence almost. So what has been like the piece of advice that sticks out most that he's given you? If you want to give us some gems here, if that's all right.
There's tons of technical stuff, that I won't bore you with. But just how to handle myself as a man, especially I fought in Florida a few months back, and I lost a close fight. It was a debatable one in my opinion, but just the way I handled it, he life coached me through it, and I could go on and on, there's a tons of stuff, it's just, honestly though, it's just the way he carries himself. I try to model myself off of that, because that'll take you places.
Amen. There's nothing that tells more about a character than how they respond to a loss. So tell me about that Florida experience while we're on that topic. What was it like traveling down for a fight and then ultimately competing?
Yeah, so we went out there for WAKO Nationals. I went out there with my boy Lewis, who I trained with, Luis Acevedo. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. It was just me, him, and Ross. We traveled out together, and You know, it was a good experience. This is my second time doing a tournament. It was a little bit smaller of a bracket. It was a K1 kickboxing tournament. Yeah, it was a good experience. You know, it was a weird rule set WAKO does. It's not round by round. It's based on like pretty much strikes landed and the way they perceive it to be. You know, and so that was a unique experience. I definitely learned from that like I have to be aware of like what the judges are seeing and not exactly what I might be feeling in there and the optics I'm giving off. That's one big thing I learned from that. And it was good definitely to travel out there too, you know, just have that experience of like getting on a plane, going out to Florida, you know, having to do the whole travel bit and weighing in both days, you know, that was a bunch of that. It was all around a good experience. And I'm glad I did it, even though, you know, the result didn't go my way.
I remember seeing a story with the fighter you traveled with. Were you and him at like an ice cream truck or something like that outside? And I think I seen Ross post it.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
was that was this tournament?
Yep. So yeah,
Alright.
that was after we both had our fights. You know, the ice cream truck happened to roll by. You know, when you hear the ice cream truck roll by, you go get ice cream.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
especially after a fight, right? Like, that must
Yeah.
be, like, the best time.
Yeah. It was a little bittersweet for me, but it
Mhm.
was still.
What's the go-to? What you order at the truck?
I mean, I missed the Choco Taco. What happened to the Choco Taco?
That's a good question. They don't have it no more?
I mean, I said that like I see it all over like all the ice cream trucks, but then you go and then they're always out of stock. They're not in stores. I don't know, but I love a good Klondike bar. I love the
Ooh,
simple
okay.
shit. I like the vanilla with the chocolate coating. It's simple for me.
Simple guy. Alright, respect.
Yeah, bro. If you remember that story, Ross was making fun of me for my decision.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that part. Uh, Again, I just can't help but be a fan of Ross and just seeing all the things he's done for the sport and what he's doing for local guys.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for Ross, and it's really nice to see how much it's impacted you and how you carry yourself differently because of him now.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Like I try not to be. I try not to take that for granted at all. We're super lucky to have him here, and whenever he's on the match training, you know, I give it my full attention, and I try to tell my guys all to do the same because you know, for him to give us our time, you know, he's got a lot of shit going on, so we have to be locked in when he's there.
Amen. Last December, he competed for the heavyweight championship down in Vegas. What was the Vegas experience like for you? I know you went down there
Yeah.
and got to rub shoulders with a lot of fascinating stars in the sport.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, you sat front row for your coach's fights. What was that whole Vegas experience like?
Yeah, I mean that was a really fun time, man. That was a really fun time. I was super happy that we got to go. To be able to just like you know go to the weigh-ins the day before, you know, meet. I met everybody. He introduced me to GSP. You know, I met Anthony Pettis,
Sick.
Benson Henderson, Raymond Daniels. All these guys, seeing them and like just like humanizing them a little bit was really cool. You know, being able to see them in person and yeah, that whole experience was just crazy. You know, I was out there with a couple of my friends. We had a good time. We had a really good time.
Now, of all the pics you posted, I even commented on it that the last one with Nate Diaz with you even doing that was a classic, man.
Yeah,
That's sick.
I mean, for him to turn around and
Yeah.
The Stockton flex, it was perfect. It was exactly what I would have wanted out of that exchange.
Ah, Nate's the best. And then, like, there was so many people there, like, Sean was
Yeah,
there,
I'm a huge
Ilya.
Sean O'Malley fan, so like
Nice.
seeing him, that was crazy. It was like every second you looked up at the screen, it was like another dopamine hit. You know, if somebody else is in there, it was a crazy night. That was
Yeah,
That's a night I'll never forget.
yeah, dude, hopefully many more of those in your future.
Hmm.
Now back to you a little bit more because you
Yep.
are, fighting this Saturday, uh, May 24th for the RFC Kickboxing 155-pound championship.
Hmm.
How long out did you know about the bout?
So first off, unfortunately, it's not a title fight anymore. You
Ooh,
know,
okay.
something on there, and it's a 3 rounder now, 155 still. Which you know, for me, I'm just happy for the opportunity to step in there and fight and compete and show off what I work on so hard. But to answer your question, you know, I've known about this fight for 3+ months now. You know, I've been in like a 12-week camp. I've
Mhm.
been on my diet the whole time, been disciplined, locked in, and even before I got this name and this date. You know, I Mike Frezza was supposed to be at the WAKO tournament. You know, a few months prior, and he didn't show up there. But that was a guy I was doing some homework on, and I've had this guy in my head for so long now. I've been game planning. I know what I got to do to beat this guy, and I'm just excited to get in there and do it.
Mm, mm. So once they gave you the name, once you've seen his name slide across your desk, was it more of a hell yes?
Yeah, it was definitely a hell yes. This is a fight. I love this fight for me. I love it for both of us. I think it's a really good like local amateur like Northeast fight. I think we're two of the best rising prospects for sure. And it's a fight that's just going to challenge me, and I want those challenges because I want to grow and I want to go pro one day. So this is just a step in the right direction for me. I definitely was happy to see the name.
Mm. You said you've been disciplined in terms of your diet thus far. How is the cut to 55 for you?
It's not too bad. I work with the best nutritionist in the world, Trisha Cornell. I'm sure you through a bunch of the guys that you talk to in the Northeast. She helps a lot of these guys around here. She's the best. She makes it super easy for me.
You mentioned the possibility of one day going pro.
Hmm.
What would need to happen between now and then?
That's a good. I just need to get more experience. I just need to keep fighting, keep getting my name out there, just keep boosting my name. Um, I would love to get some MMA fights in too in the future. That's something that's definitely not out of my realm of possibility. I want to do that, and yeah, a bunch of things really. I just got to stay on my path because if I just keep going on the path that I'm at and keep putting myself in these uncomfortable positions and doing the right things to grow, that's inevitable for me.
Mm, mm. That's beautifully said right there. I like that. Keep at that pace, brother. The sky's the limit. I must ask, fight camp theme song.
Fight camp theme song, man. I go through so many phases with my music, but right now I've been liking like the club disco beats, like the dance songs in the club, just like those, anything like that. I'm walking out to one of those. I'm walking out to Planet Rock, stuff like that, that just gets me energized, right now.
While looking through your Instagram, I noticed one of your techniques that seemed to put everybody down. The
Yep.
lead body kick.
The switch. Yep.
It seems to get everybody. And I also noticed you have a question mark tattooed on one of your shins. Any significance?
Yeah. It's funny. I don't if you know Brian Bowe, he's a great training partner of mine. He trains out down at Pride. He has his own gym. He has his own gym now. But my first time ever sparring, I had no mouthpiece in. It was my first night sparring, and I sparred him my first round. It was a warm up round, and yeah, warm up round. And this happens. He hits me with he hit me with like three teeps. Three teeps. He got me dropping my hand, and he question marked me right in the mouth, busted my lip open. Ever since then, I've been in love with that kick. I've wanted to learn it, and yeah, I was at I had some flash tattoo sale. I was with my sister down in Colorado, and that was the only idea. I was like, I'll put it on my shin so when people get hit by it, they see it last.
They see a question mark coming at them.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's what hit me.
Yeah, that's fire. I like it. You also have a 22 tattooed on one of your knees.
Yeah, it's 222.
What does that mean?
It's so I don't know if you heard of angel numbers. It's like a sequence of three numbers that has some meaning. And for me, 222 means pretty much that you're in the right place, right time.
Mm.
And it was a tattoo that I got with both my sisters and my mom. We all have the same one, and it's got a lot of meanings too. It's like three siblings is the twos.
Nice.
There's my home address is 222. My favorite number is 2. So it just worked out.
Fire. That does work out.
Yeah.
Any more big plans for tattoos or?
I definitely want to get more. Nothing. I got nothing specific. I want to give a tribute to my grandfather that's passed away. He was a really great squash player. I don't know if you know what squash is.
Is that with the with like the racket?
Yep,
Like
racket. It's almost like
wall?
racquetball inside, but it's like with a smaller rubber ball. Yeah. He was like one of the best in the world at that. So I want to get something along those lines for tribute to him.
That's dope. Well, first, sorry for your grandfather's passing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be in the world, huh? He's competed like nationally and shit.
Yeah. So like the latest I remember, he was this like the 60 and up #1 in the world. Yeah, he was serious.
That's kind of cool.
I used to always go play with him. I used to want to do tournaments and stuff, and I never got to do one. But yeah, I was super into it back then, and yeah, he's definitely a big athletic role model to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. So you come from like a lineage of athletes, huh?
Yeah. My dad was a great football player, big old lineman.
Oh, okay.
Old lineman created a quarterback.
Yeah. Pretty funny how that works out, huh?
Yeah.
Now I started with the quarterback stuff, and I feel like we brushed off. Like you started with Dartmouth, and there was so much before that,
Yeah.
right? That went into your football career. Can you tell me a moment, a highlight from your time growing up playing football that's like helped mold the person you are today?
And there's I've learned so many life lessons through football. For one, like I used to always go to summer football camps, and one summer I spent like a whole month out at IMG Academy. That was super cool. Just a quarterback, like just straight quarterback football camp. It was like twice a day sessions for a month, like learning from some of the best coaches in the world, and like yeah, just that I learned some work ethic there for sure. And then my junior year, I really struggled my first year starting. Like I was having a terrible season. I was throwing picks left and right, fucking fumbling the ball all the time, and it's crazy. So I set up this meeting with I don't want to say psychiatrist, but some kind of like mind doc, like it was like a psychic almost, and he had me sit in a chair and he like had me close my eyes and talk to me, and he had me answer questions honestly, and he sent me like a recording of that, and I used to listen to that before all my games, and ever since then I completely like flipped the script. I started playing really good from then on, and next season, my senior year, I broke school records, and then eventually got to go play in college, and it was that was crazy shit. It's like it's so crazy.
What? So that was a lot right there.
Yeah,
So
that was a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
I just went fast.
all good. So he sent you the recording, and what are you saying in this recording?
So like I mean I can't remember everything exactly, but
Yeah.
it was pretty much just like having me talk through everything, like what I was feeling on the field, like why things were going like seemed so fast in my head, and like it was pretty much just saying how I feel out loud. So like before the games, I would know what my feelings were going in, and I'd be able to control them a little bit better. And I started to gather my like emotions on the field better, and everything slowed down from there.
That is a really fascinating
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah, it's crazy when I look back. I definitely want to like go talk to that guy again.
It's genius. Like you got a chance to feel what you were going to feel before you actually felt it. So when
Yeah,
that moment came, like you were prepared for it.
yeah, and it was almost like listening to that tape before every game. It put me in the same good mind space before every time, and it was like it just put me in the same place going into every game. So it never out like different circumstances in my head, if that makes any sense.
That is super cool. And you have no contact with this doctor
Yeah,
today?
man, I got it. I'm sure my mom's got the contact somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to get back there.
Yeah, that'd be there. That's a sweet technique right there. I hope
Yeah,
that person is making a killing these days, still
yeah.
giving that out.
I remember because I was playing so bad my junior year, I got benched for a freshman, and that was like a
Oh,
big hit to me. But that week when I knew I was getting benched is when I went and did this appointment in Providence with this guy. He's in Providence. We can circle down the location a little bit, but but yeah, like I went and talked to him, got it all off my chest, and then like I was on the sideline. I was comfortable with being a backup because I knew I talked to the guy. I had my feelings in check, and then that game, my number got called halfway through, and then I went out there and I played the best I played, and from then on it kept going up.
it kept going up, and then it landed you a scholarship. Before we talk about like the transition to college, do you still use any of that today? Like before your fights, do you listen to anything, any rituals like before your bouts?
I don't listen to anything right now, but I do like I do some meditation. I talk to myself. I
Mm.
definitely talk to myself a lot. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, honestly, is just talking to myself, positive talk, not letting the negative thoughts get in my head, and when they do, just flush it away with the good ones.
Mm. Mm.
Breathing too.
Yeah.
A lot
Do
of
you
breathing.
talk to a mind coach at all or anything like that today?
So I did work with Mindlock Dylan Adler for a
Yeah.
little while, but it was just a financial thing. I couldn't keep doing it at the time,
Yeah.
but I did work with him, and I still use all the stuff I learned from him. I'm constantly note taking, doing journaling, all of that.
Nice, nice. That's very important as you're learning a whole bunch of new shit on the fly. Now back to these high school records.
Yeah.
Is there one where you're like, I wanted that one and I got that one and I'm carrying that one forever.
Yeah, I mean, I had the passing yards record
Oh
and the
shit.
passing touchdowns record. I'm pretty sure the passing touchdown. I know I had the passing yards, And yeah, that was really cool because the guy before me was really good and he was a slinger, and everybody used to tell me how he was so much better than me and all this stuff. And I love him. I love him. No, this is no shots at him, but that definitely felt good to take that record from him.
You took that title, and then was that a single season record, or is that
Yeah,
like over the
single season passing yards.
Nice? And you did that your senior year.
My senior year, yep.
Sick, man, sick. And then you went to Dartmouth.
Yep.
What was that like, being like the big fish your senior year in high school, and then going to now a bigger institute, and possibly becoming a smaller fish in a big pond?
Yeah, it was definitely a change for me. You know, it was really cool to be like we had some great coaches there. You know, there was a great quarterback there ahead of me. I was surrounded by really good people. Everybody took me in, like everybody accepted me. You know, I didn't feel like I was a small fish in a big pond. Really, I felt like one of the guys there, and yeah, it was nothing really crazy, honestly.
And then you walk into Pride and Martial Arts, and the rest is history.
Yep, the rest is history from there.
Are you still keeping up with football these days?
Oh yeah, I keep up with all sports. That's my main news source is all the sports stuff.
Yeah, dude, sports these days. This is like peak sports time right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Any predictions for the New England Patriots? Your New England guy, Patriots guy?
I'm a New England. I'm a Pats guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm high on Drake May. You know, I think he's a project for sure, but I think he's got like tremendous upside. And like if he can just take all the stuff that they're teaching him, you know, I think he's going to be really good. I like to pick.
Yeah, all right. I mean,
but if he doesn't pan out, if
project.
Marvin Harrison is that guy, then that's going to sting.
Who? Say it again. Who is?
If Marvin Harrison ends up being that guy and he went 4 and he ends up being the superstar wide receiver and Drake May doesn't turn out to be much, that's gonna be a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, that'll sure hurt, especially after the past few years we've been having here in New England. Like
brutal,
shitty
but
draft.
I mean, it's hard for us to complain.
That's right. Especially during a time when our Boston Celtics guy.
Not a Celtics guy.
Ooh, that stings. What
I'm a Brooklyn Nets guy. I don't know if you can see.
Oh wow, I see it back there hiding.
Crazy? You know what's crazy is so I like growing up, I was a Celtics fan when I was younger, and like I kind of stopped watching basketball, didn't follow it as much, and then they made the trade, the infamous Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade to the Nets, and that was what switched me to a Nets fan, really. But in reality, that was probably the worst possible way I could become a Nets fan. But I've been rocking with them ever since.
That makes me pretty sad that you got paired in the trade with Paul Pierce and KG.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pieces there that you could look forward to. I mean, Bridges is pretty fun. That dude's legit. But then it's like, you wait for Ben Simmons to develop. Yeah,
I mean, for me, all I can think about is KD. KD's big shoe stepping on that line against the Bucks that series.
Ooh, I know that one stinks forever.
It stings.
Yeah, and KD leaving and taking taking everything. That must hurt. But you should have stayed a Celtics fan, brother. It's a real fun time to be a Celtics fan.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I think we covered all the topics. Actually, I had one more for you. I seen in your bio quotations, the Judge. Is that your fighter nickname?
Yep. That's my nickname. Yep.
Why the Judge?
You know, my girlfriend's dad honestly just came up with that kind of. All my friends call me Judd, so it was like the Judd part in there kind of worked, and it was just I just needed one, and my girlfriend's dad came up with it. He loves it. I took it, and I rock with it.
That's fire. That's fire. Next time somebody asks you that question, you respond, "Because I'm the ruler," or some cool shit like that.
Well, that's also another part. Actually, I probably should have said that. I'm in there. I dictate the action. I dictate what's going on. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the clip right there, brother. That's the clip right there. All right, last thing before we get out of here. I've been doing this thing on Monday motivation. Can you give me like the best Monday morning get out of bed piece of advice?
Best Monday morning. Okay. Best piece of advice from. Okay. Let me think. Let me get in my bag.
Give me your bag, G. Take your time. I can give you some Celtics talk to fill in some air because it's a fun time right now.
Then don't burn my ears. You know, it's just for me, it's not about motivation. It's about being disciplined for me. So the biggest thing is just like there's someone out there that's out working. There's someone else out there that's getting up out of bed earlier than you, who's doing the work harder. And man, I'm not a motivational speaker, but but just staying disciplined, just staying the course. Be like when you think things are starting to like fizzle out. That's when you're making the biggest progressions in your growth. You just got to stay the course, even when things are boring, even when things are getting repetitive. That's all part of the process. Just stay the course, stay disciplined, and great things are going to come.
That's a gem right there, bro. That's a gem. You may not be a motivational speaker, but that was some fire right there. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the time. Best of luck next weekend. Go get it done. Bring it home. And safe travels and safe weight cut.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And I just want to say before you let me go, I think what you do is really cool here, giving us all a voice, and like the local scene. So I just want to give you a shout out for that. I think what you're doing is really cool, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's catch up after this one and let's break down the card or some shit.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to, man.